It's day 9 of Black History Month. Now, today we'll be talking about the conflicting theories of Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Booker T. Washington was born enslaved in the South and ended up being freed by the 13th Amendment. Booker T. Washington helped found the Tuskegee Institute, which is now Tuskegee University. Now, when this happened, he blew up in the mainstream, and more people started showing up to his speeches, black, white alike. This is when we started getting an idea of Booker T. Washington's thought process on the advancement of black people. Now, he's what we would consider an accommodationist. He believed that if we were a little bit more lenient and allowed Jim Crow and segregation to stand still while we worked on our own economic growth and showing that we were skilled laborers and working on our own communities and respecting the boundary lines of segregation, that over time, civil rights would cease to exist as white people would see the value we bring to society. Now, W.E.B. Du Bois, on the other hand, was born in the North, a freedman. He had more access to education and integration than Booker T. Washington had in the South. He attended Fisk University, where he got his first bachelor's degree, then went to Harvard, where he got his PhD. And he got his second bachelor's degree from Harvard University, and then got his PhD from Harvard University. And he had a more aggressive approach to how we should go about getting our civil rights, ending segregation, and Jim Crow. Now, W.E.B. Du Bois believed in something called the talented 10th, where the top 10% of educated black men would lead the revolution of us gaining our civil rights and us ending segregation and Jim Crow. There's flaws to both approaches. For one, with Booker T. Washington's approach, when he was speaking of this like accommodationist approach, lynchings were at the peak, right? So more black people were getting lynched than ever. More black communities were getting burnt down than ever. And that is part of the fear that was instilled in Booker T. Washington. But even when we were building our own communities, i.e. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, they literally bombed and burned that entire community based on lies. Du Bois, on the other hand, for one, his talented 10th approach was sexist. He only put men at the forefront, and women were some of the biggest leaders in every advancement of a movement in our society. It was also an elitist approach, thinking that only higher educated black men should be the leaders of movements, when throughout history we've seen that to not be true. Later in his life, he eased up on some of these thoughts. But the point of this video is there were different approaches by a lot of different leaders of our past. We're not a monolith, but we all cared about the progression of black people.